Hello, welcome everyone. Rilus Dana here, going live. Let me press all the buttons here. There we go, live on Instagram as well. I believe we're live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So let us know in the comments where you're watching from. So as you saw in the description, I've just returned from the Estate Planning Symposium in Silicon Valley, the Kasner Estate Planning Symposium. So I wanted to share some of the things and some of the thoughts I had while there. So let me share my screen. So before that, one of the things I want to let people know about is the private Maat legal attorney group. It's got a new home. We're moving that to GoHighLevel. So currently it's in Facebook as a private group, but I think it's going to be a better home on GoHighLevel. So there should be a link to that group in the description. It's kind of a long gobbledygook link, just getting it started. Maybe I can figure out an easier link later. But if you're an attorney and you're in that Facebook group, you can go join the new home there. So I want to share, some of the insights and things that I've learned. Now, you gotta love these titles to the lectures. 3 historical events in 2024, a total solar eclipse, the Summer Olympics in Paris, and recent developments in trust and estate law. I think it was actually mostly the last one. So I'm not going to go through all of this, obviously. I just want to touch on a few things that I found interesting. So talk about this, banks. So there's a case with Chase Bank where there was a restricted account. So meaning that the court, I'll just go through my highlights. So there's a blocked account, and basically Chase Bank gave money out and they were not supposed to. And as they should have, the court found that Chase does have liability for that. If you have a blocked account, then you got to follow those rules. Now, the result of this case is it's harder to get blocked accounts. I'm dealing with a client that needs a restricted account right now, and it's been pretty tough to find a financial institution that will do it. So this makes sense. It's part of the reason why it's so difficult. More liabilities for the banks. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is stepchildren. I found this interesting. So there was 2 different California cases on this last year. And I know I mostly practice in Arizona. I'm also a California attorney. I practice there too. But the reason I'm talking about this is because we could be seeing this trend in Arizona and other states. But basically what happens is there was a child that was not actually legally adopted to or born to that person, but the court found that they held them out as their child, and therefore they were able to inherit as a child. So that's something to be careful of. Today we see a lot of blended families, so it's pretty common. There can be what you consider to be a child. Maybe if you married someone and they had kids and you held them out to be your children, they could legally inherit from you. So it's just really important to do your own estate planning, make it clear what your wishes are and what you want, so that way it can't be misinterpreted. Okay, so that's it for the California cases. That's all I wanted to talk about. They spent some time talking about, oops, we don't want to go there yet. About, oops, what did I do? Stop screen share. Okay, before I get into that, I am going to talk about this a little bit later, how to do an AI legal assistant. The next thing I want to talk about here is this California directed trust, or just directed trust. So a directed trust, I thought this was interesting before we get into that. GST laws, these major tax laws, were rewritten in 1986. So it's been a long time. That's been kind of the established tax system was set up in 1986. this is a good presentation. They're comparing California against other cases or against other states. There's a lot of other states that have different laws, but California is a very, very different. They haven't, they still have the rule against perpetuities, no self-settled spendthrift trusts in California, no silent trust. I'd never heard of a silent trust until that, but I guess a silent trust is where you don't have to tell the beneficiary that they're a beneficiary. You don't have to tell them about the trust. So California finally got a law about directed trust. Now, what is a directed trust? It's where the fiduciary powers and duties are split between trustees and other fiduciaries. So there could be like a trust director who has a power of direction by which they can direct the trustee to act and other things. So you can do these things, but there's a lot of problems with them. There's a lot of potential problems is how I took it. So only in very limited circumstances where you might want to do this, but there's a lot of things that are being litigated about these. So even though you can do it, maybe not the best idea for you. Federal tax update. So part of the reason why I went to this conference is I wanted to get an idea of what is going on with the federal taxes, if they have any insights of where things may be going. The Samuel Donaldson, he's pretty funny for attorneys. He's got good attorney humor, very smart, obviously, and very quick-witted. Throws in some jokes too. So these are the tax rates, income tax rates. So gift tax exclusion, you see it's, for a long time it was $10,000. It's gone all the way up to $18,000, meaning you can give $18,000 in a single year without having to file a gift tax return. This exclusion amount, so this is the exclusion against the death tax or the estate tax. You can see it was doubled in 2017 from 5 million to 10 million. And it is scheduled to sunset after 2025. The common consensus there, kind of the thought is people think that it's going to go back down to 7.5 million. It'll shake out there. So meaning that if you have more than 7.5 million, you'll be subject to the estate tax. Or a married couple can file, a married couple, they each have their exemption. So 15 million for a married couple, or 7.5 million is where that's expected to go. So, all right. So one of the things I'm going to be showing in this attorney group is how I built an AI legal assistant. This has been one of my favorite AI tools to research things. I'll show you a couple examples. So during that presentation, I was listening to about California directed trust. I asked, if Arizona has a directed trust law, and we do. So Arizona does have a statute. Now, part of the way I built this bot is I gave it instructions to cite its sources. So then I can go through and cite the actual sources and make sure it's not just AI hallucinating. So if you're interested in creating a legal assistant like this, I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to show you how I did it in the Maat legal course. So you can upload forms, different texts, as well as websites. So now that I got back from this conference, I'm going to be updating my legal assistant with this good info about the new California cases. So this will keep my my AI bot nice and smart, make sure it knows all these recent California cases. Then if I have a question, I can ask it and it will pull from all that information. So I hope you found this interesting. Let me know what other topics you'd like to hear about, and I hope to see all the attorneys in that private group. We'll see you next time.